Hello and welcome. I'm truly glad you're here today. Let me ask you something, quietly, honestly. Have you ever stepped out of the shower, feeling clean, refreshed, and then just for a split second wondered, do I smell? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, please know this. You are not alone, and there is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. As women grow older, our bodies change in subtle ways that no one really prepares us for. And sometimes the problem isn't lack of hygiene, but the opposite. Small, everyday bathroom habits we've trusted for years may quietly be working against us, creating odor, discomfort, and self-doubt without us even realizing it. In today's video, we're going to talk honestly and respectfully about 8 common bathroom habits that doctors warn can make older women smell bad, even when they are trying their very best to stay clean. More importantly, I'll share simple, gentle fixes that restore freshness, confidence, and comfort without harsh products, embarrassment, or complicated routines. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. It's about reclaiming confidence, dignity, and peace of mind at every stage of life. So stay with me until the end, because one small change might make a bigger difference than you ever imagined. If this topic matters to you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our upcoming conversations. Your support helps this message reach the women who truly need it. Using too much soap in intimate areas, when clean, becomes the problem. For many women, especially as we grow older, cleanliness becomes a priority tied closely to dignity, confidence, and self-respect. We are taught, directly or indirectly, that the cleaner we are, the better we will feel. So it feels natural to believe that using more soap, stronger soap, or fragrant feminine products will help us stay fresh and odor-free. But here is the truth many doctors wish women were told earlier in life. Using too much soap in the intimate area often causes the very problems we are trying to avoid. The vaginal area is not like the rest of the body. It is a highly sophisticated, self-regulating system designed to protect itself. Under healthy conditions, it maintains a naturally acidic environment, with a pH typically between 3.8 and 4.5. This acidity is not a flaw, it is a defense mechanism. It supports beneficial bacteria that keep harmful microbes under control and helps regulate natural odor. When harsh soaps, perfumed body washes, feminine sprays, wipes, or douches are introduced, this delicate balance is disrupted. Many of these products contain alcohols, fragrances, detergents, and chemicals that strip away the good bacteria along with the bad. Once that protective layer is damaged, harmful bacteria and yeast can grow more easily. The result is often unexpected and frustrating. Instead of feeling fresher, women experience unpleasant odor, dryness, itching, irritation, or recurring infections, such as bacterial vaginosis or yeast infections. And this happens not because of poor hygiene, but because of overcleaning. This issue becomes even more common with age. Hormonal changes, especially after menopause, naturally thin the vaginal tissues and reduce moisture. That means the area becomes more sensitive and less tolerant of aggressive cleansing. What once caused no problem at 40 may suddenly lead to discomfort at 60 or 70. Another important point many women don't realize is this: the vagina cleans itself. The internal canal naturally produces discharge that removes dead cells and unwanted bacteria. This process does not require help, and trying to assist it with internal washing actually interferes with its function. What does need gentle care is the external area, known as the vulva. And even then, less is more. Warm water alone is often enough. If a cleansing product is needed, doctors recommend choosing one that is fragrance-free, pH-balanced, and specifically designed for intimate skin. It should be used sparingly and only on the external skin, never inside the vagina. Products that promise instant freshness may give a temporary sensation of cleanliness, but they often create long-term imbalance. Many women fall into a cycle of irritation, odor, and repeated product use, never realizing the products themselves are the root cause. The healthiest approach is surprisingly simple. Trust your body. When the natural balance is respected, the body regulates itself far better than any scented wash ever could. If a strong or persistent odor appears, it is not a signal to scrub harder. It is a signal to pause and, if necessary, consult a healthcare professional to rule out an underlying issue. True hygiene is not about force. It is about understanding restraint and respect for the body's wisdom. Sometimes the cleanest choice is to step back and let your body do what it was designed to do all along. Not washing bath towels. Often enough, when clean, skin meets hidden bacteria. For many people, a bath towel feels harmless, almost invisible in our hygiene routine. We step out of the shower freshly washed, wrap ourselves in a towel, and assume everything involved in that moment must also be clean. After all, if our body is clean, how dirty could the towel really be? This belief is extremely common and quietly misleading. In reality, bath towels are one of the most overlooked sources of odor and bacteria in the bathroom, especially for older adults. The problem is not neglect or laziness. It's misunderstanding how moisture, warmth, and time work together. A towel's job is to absorb water. That means every time you dry off, it becomes damp, warm, heavy with moisture. And when that towel is then hung in a bathroom filled with steam, often with poor ventilation, it creates the perfect environment for bacteria and mold to grow. Bacteria thrive in warm, moist conditions. Mold and mildew do too. Even if a towel looks clean, smells fine at first, and feels soft to the touch, microscopic organisms may already be multiplying within the fabric. Each time that towel is reused, those bacteria are transferred right back onto freshly cleaned skin. This can lead to subtle but persistent body odor, skin irritation, or a feeling of not quite being clean, no matter how thorough the shower was. As we age, our skin becomes thinner, more sensitive, and less resilient. The natural barrier that once protected us weakens. That makes older skin more vulnerable to bacteria, irritation, and lingering smells. A towel that might not cause noticeable issues at 30 can become a problem at 60 or 70. Many people reuse the same towel for a full week or longer, believing it saves time, effort, or water. While the intention is understandable, dermatologists consistently recommend washing bath towels after every 2 to 4 uses. In humid climates or poorly ventilated bathrooms, even more frequent washing may be necessary. Drying the towel properly between uses is just as important as washing it. A towel that stays bunched up, folded, or hung in a tight space never fully dries. That lingering dampness allows bacteria and mildew to continue growing even between showers. The solution doesn't require expensive products or complicated routines, just awareness and consistency. First, rotate your towels. Keeping at least 2 or 3 towels in regular rotation ensures that each one has time to fully dry and be washed on schedule. Second, always hang towels fully spread out, not crumpled or layered over other fabrics. Airflow is essential. If your bathroom lacks proper ventilation, consider opening a window after showers or running an exhaust fan longer than usual. Even small changes in airflow can dramatically reduce moisture buildup. When washing towels, use warm or hot water when possible and allow them to dry completely before reuse. A towel that smells slightly musty is already telling you something important. Listen to it. What surprises many people is how quickly these changes make a difference. Skin feels cleaner. The bathroom smells fresher. And that vague sense of lingering odor disappears without adding more soap, deodorant, or fragrance. True hygiene isn't just about what we put on our bodies. It's about what touches them afterward. Sometimes staying fresh isn't about cleaning more. It's about cleaning smarter. Neglecting foot care, the hidden source of odor. Many women overlook. Feet are rarely the focus of our daily hygiene routine. They are practical, hardworking, and usually hidden away in socks and shoes. So it's easy to assume they don't need much attention. For many women, foot care is reduced to a quick rinse in the shower and nothing more. But as we grow older, this quiet neglect can slowly become one of the most common sources of persistent body odor. The human foot contains more than 250,000 sweat glands, making it one of the most sweat-producing areas of the body. Sweat itself doesn't smell, but when moisture combines with bacteria and dead skin cells, odor forms quickly. And aging skin changes the equation even further. As we get older, our skin sheds dead cells more slowly. This means dead skin begins to accumulate, especially on the heels, soles, and most importantly, between the toes. These tiny crevices are warm, dark, and often damp, creating ideal conditions for odor-causing bacteria and fungi to thrive. Many women wash their feet without really washing them, letting water run over them or giving them a quick swipe with soap doesn't remove built-up skin or eliminate bacteria. When moisture is left behind, especially between the toes, it becomes fuel for bacterial growth. The result is a sour or musty smell that seems to come out of nowhere. Shoes begin to smell unpleasant. Socks don't stay fresh. And even without heavy physical activity, foot odor becomes noticeable and persistent. This isn't a sign of poor hygiene. It's a sign of incomplete care. Proper foot hygiene doesn't require harsh products or long routines. It requires attention and consistency. Start in the shower. Use warm water and a mild, fragrance-free soap. Take time to clean the entire foot, the sole, the heel, the arch, and especially between each toe. These few extra seconds make a real difference. Next comes the most overlooked step, drying. Feet should never be rushed through this part. Use a clean towel and gently but thoroughly dry every surface, making sure no moisture remains between the toes. Even a small amount of trapped dampness can undo all the effort you just made. Exfoliation is another essential step, particularly as skin renewal slows with age. Once or twice a week, use a pumice stone or foot file to remove dead skin from the heels and soles. This not only reduces odor, but also prevents cracked skin, which can become an entry point for infection. For women who wear closed shoes for long periods, an antifungal foot powder can help absorb moisture and keep the environment dry. Breathable socks and properly fitting shoes also play an important role in maintaining foot health. Foot care is about more than smell. Poor hygiene can lead to athlete's foot, fungal infections, painful cracks, and in some cases, serious complications, especially for individuals with diabetes or circulation issues. But beyond health, there is something deeper at play. Our feet carry us through every stage of life. They support our weight, absorb impact, and keep us moving, often without complaint. Giving them a few extra moments of care each day is not indulgence. It is respect. When feet are clean, dry, and healthy, confidence quietly follows. Shoes feel better. Movement feels easier. And one hidden source of odor disappears without effort or embarrassment. Sometimes the most powerful changes come from caring for the parts of ourselves we've ignored for too long. And our feet are a very good place to start. Flushing the toilet with the lid open, the invisible hygiene mistake in plain sight. Most people never give a second thought to how they flush the toilet. It's automatic, routine, and seemingly harmless. Finish, flush, move on. For decades, this habit feels completely normal, and that's exactly why it's so easy to overlook. But what happens when you flush a toilet with the lid open is far less harmless than it appears. When the toilet is flushed, powerful turbulence is created inside the bowl. That force launches microscopic droplets into the air, forming what scientists call a toilet plume. This invisible cloud can contain bacteria, viruses, and tiny particles from waste, none of which stay politely inside the bowl. Studies show that these particles can travel several feet through the air and remain suspended for minutes, sometimes longer. They don't simply disappear, they settle. They land on nearby surfaces, towels hanging within reach, toothbrushes sitting on the counter, skincare bottles, hairbrushes, toilet paper, and even the floor. Anything exposed becomes a potential landing spot. This is especially concerning in bathrooms, which are typically small, enclosed spaces with limited airflow. In such environments, bacteria have fewer places to go and more time to settle where they shouldn't. For older adults, this matters even more. As we age, our immune response becomes less robust, and our skin becomes thinner and more sensitive. What once caused no noticeable issue can now contribute to irritation, infections, or lingering odors that seem to appear without explanation. What makes this habit particularly deceptive is that the bathroom may look perfectly clean. Surfaces may be wiped down regularly, floors may be mopped, air fresheners may be used. Yet the source of contamination keeps repeating itself with every open lid flush. There's another layer many people don't consider. Bathrooms often contain chemical cleaners, toilet bowl solutions, and fragranced products. When the toilet plume rises, it doesn't only carry biological particles, it can also aerosolize chemical residues, creating a fine mist that's inhaled or settles on skin contact items. This combination of bacteria and chemicals contributes to subtle odors, respiratory irritation, and a general sense that the bathroom never truly feels fresh, no matter how often it's cleaned. The most surprising part? The solution is incredibly simple. Close the lid before flushing. That one small action dramatically reduces the spread of airborne particles. It prevents bacteria from reaching surfaces that touch your skin and mouth daily. It protects towels that are meant to dry a clean body, not reintroduce germs to it. Closing the lid doesn't require new products, extra effort, or more cleaning time. It's a habit shift, a moment of awareness. Once this habit becomes routine, many people notice something unexpected. The bathroom smells cleaner. Towels stay fresher longer. There's less need for heavy fragrances or constant disinfecting. Cleanliness stops being reactive and becomes preventive. True hygiene isn't only about what we clean. It's about how contamination is prevented in the first place. The bathroom should be a place of restoration, not exposure. A space where cleanliness supports health rather than quietly undermining it. So the next time you reach for the flush handle, pause for half a second. Close the lid. Let that small gesture protect everything else in the room. Sometimes the most powerful hygiene habits are the ones we never knew we needed until we understand what's been floating in the air all along. Wearing the same underwear to bed, a quiet habit that traps our odor overnight. At the end of the day, comfort becomes the priority. After hours of movement, responsibilities, and routine, slipping into pajamas and climbing into bed feels like a small reward. In that moment, many women pause and think, do I really need to change my underwear? After all, the day may not have been physically demanding, and the underwear still feels clean. This habit is incredibly common and quietly problematic. Throughout the day, the body naturally produces sweat, oils, and moisture even when we are not exercising. Skin sheds cells continuously. Bacteria, which live harmlessly on our skin, collect in warm, enclosed areas. Underwear absorbs all of this. By evening, even the most breathable fabric carries a full day's worth of moisture and bacteria. When the same underwear is worn to bed, everything collected during the day is sealed against the skin for hours. Warmth from the body, limited airflow, and prolonged contact create an ideal environment for bacteria to multiply. This process doesn't stop while you sleep. It accelerates. Over time, this can lead to persistent odor, skin irritation, and discomfort that seems to appear without a clear cause. Many women wake up feeling less fresh than expected, even after showering the night before. The issue is often misattributed to hormonal changes or aging alone, when in reality, a simple habit is contributing to the problem. Fabric choice plays an important role. Synthetic materials such as polyester, nylon, and spandex trap heat and moisture more easily. While they may feel smooth or stretchy, they restrict airflow and hold bacteria close to the skin. Natural fibers like cotton allow moisture to evaporate and help the skin stay dry. As women age, this habit becomes more impactful. Hormonal changes can alter skin sensitivity, moisture levels, and the natural balance of the intimate area. What once caused no noticeable issue may now lead to irritation, itching, or odor. Medical professionals and dermatologists consistently recommend one simple solution: change into clean underwear before bed, or skip underwear entirely. A fresh pair of breathable underwear removes the buildup of the day and gives the skin a clean environment for the night. For women who are comfortable without underwear, sleeping without it allows maximum airflow, reduces moisture retention, and helps the skin regulate itself naturally. This practice is not about rules or strict routines. It's about giving the body a chance to reset. Many women notice a difference within days. Morning freshness improves. Irritation decreases. That subtle feeling of discomfort fades away. And none of it requires special products, medications, or fragrances. What's important to understand is that odor is rarely caused by being unclean. More often, it's caused by moisture being trapped for too long in the wrong conditions. Sleep is when the body repairs itself. Skin renews. Systems rebalance. Creating a clean, breathable environment during those hours supports that process, rather than interfering with it. This small change also carries a psychological benefit. Ending the day with a fresh, intentional habit reinforces self-care and dignity. It's a quiet reminder that comfort and health can coexist. If changing underwear before bed feels inconvenient at first, think of it as resetting the clock, allowing the night to start fresh, just like the morning does. Sometimes the difference between discomfort and confidence is not a major lifestyle change, but a single gentle adjustment made at the right moment. And bedtime is one of the most powerful moments to begin. The bathroom trash bin, the small container that can pollute the entire room. The bathroom trash bin is one of the most overlooked objects in the home. It's small, tucked away, and rarely thought about beyond its basic function. We drop used tissues, cotton pads, hygiene products, and packaging inside, close the lid, and move on. As long as it isn't overflowing, it feels handled. But this quiet habit often becomes a hidden source of odor and bacteria that affects the entire bathroom. Unlike trash bins in other rooms, the bathroom bin regularly holds items that are damp or biologically active. Used tissues, wipes, cotton pads, and hygiene products carry moisture. In the warm, humid environment of a bathroom, that moisture doesn't evaporate, it lingers. Inside a closed bin, warmth and humidity create ideal conditions for bacteria and mold to grow. Over time, even a small amount of waste can begin to break down and release odor. Because this happens gradually, many people stop noticing it. The smell becomes part of the background, blending into the room. Yet visitors often notice it immediately. What makes this especially frustrating is that the bathroom may otherwise be spotless. Surfaces are wiped, floors are clean, fresh towels are hung, air fresheners are used, and still the room never quite smells truly clean. That lingering odor doesn't stay confined to the bin. It spreads into the air, clings to fabrics, and subtly settles onto surrounding surfaces. Towels absorb it. Bath mats hold onto it. The overall feeling of freshness disappears, even after cleaning. For older adults, this matters more than we often realize. As the sense of smell changes with age, it becomes easier to miss low-level odors. At the same time, aging skin can become more sensitive to bacteria in the environment. What seems like a minor issue can contribute to irritation, discomfort, and the impression of poor hygiene, despite good personal care. The solution is straightforward and surprisingly effective. First, empty the bathroom trash bin frequently, every few days if possible, regardless of whether it looks full. Waiting until the bin overflows allows moisture and bacteria to build up far longer than necessary. Second, the bin itself needs cleaning. Once a week, wipe the inside with a disinfectant spray or a simple vinegar-based solution. This removes residue, kills bacteria, and prevents odor from settling into the plastic. For added odor control, placing a small amount of baking soda at the bottom of the bin helps absorb smells. Some people also add a few drops of essential oil to a cotton pad, placed discreetly beneath the liner, to keep the bin smelling neutral rather than perfumed. Using a removable liner makes cleaning easier, but it doesn't replace the need to clean the bin itself. Liquids and residue often seep through or collect around the edges over time. This routine takes only a few minutes, yet the impact is immediate. The bathroom smells cleaner. The air feels lighter. Guests notice. And there's less reliance on artificial fragrances to cover up hidden problems. True cleanliness isn't just about what we see. It's about what we maintain quietly and consistently. The bathroom trash bin may be small, but its influence is not. Left unattended, it undermines the entire space. Cared for properly, it supports a clean, calm environment that feels genuinely fresh. Sometimes the biggest improvements come from addressing the smallest details. And in the bathroom, few details matter more than what we choose to ignore. The unwashed bathrobe. When comfort quietly undermines cleanliness, a bathrobe feels like comfort itself. Soft, familiar, and reassuring. It's often the first thing we reach for after a shower. We wrap it around our clean body, enjoy the warmth, and move on with our routine. Because it's worn only after bathing, many people assume a bathrobe stays clean, far longer than other clothing. That assumption is understandable, but it's also misleading. After a shower, the body is still damp. Even when we towel off carefully, moisture remains on the skin. When a bathrobe is put on, that moisture transfers directly into the fabric. If the robe is then hung in a bathroom with limited airflow, folded over a hook, or left bunched up behind a door, it may never fully dry. Warmth, moisture, and time form the perfect environment for bacteria and mold. Over days and then weeks, microorganisms begin to grow within the fibers of the robe. Because this process happens gradually, it often goes unnoticed. The robe may still feel soft. It may not smell strongly, but subtle odors and bacteria are already present. Each time the robe is worn again, those odors and microorganisms are transferred back onto freshly cleaned skin. This can create a confusing experience. Stepping out of the shower feeling clean, only to notice a faint musty smell minutes later. Many people blame their soap, deodorant, or even their body, never suspecting the bathrobe. As we age, this issue becomes more noticeable. Aging skin is thinner, more sensitive, and less resilient. It absorbs and reacts to environmental bacteria more easily. What once felt harmless can suddenly contribute to irritation, lingering odor, or a sense of never quite feeling fresh. A bathrobe is not just a piece of clothing. It functions like a towel. And towels, when damp and reused without washing, quickly become breeding grounds for bacteria. The solution is simple and practical. Bathrobes should be washed at least once a week, more often if they are worn daily, or if the bathroom is humid. Having a second robe makes rotation easier, ensuring one is always clean and fully dry. Equally important is how the robe is dried. It should be hung fully open in a well-ventilated area. Avoid folding it over a hook or leaving it in a confined space. Airflow is essential for preventing moisture from lingering in the fabric. When washing, use warm water when possible, and allow the robe to dry completely before wearing it again. A robe that smells slightly off is already overdue for washing. Many people are surprised by how much difference this single habit makes. The post-shower experience feels cleaner. Skin stays fresher longer. That subtle, unexplained odor disappears. Beyond hygiene, there is a deeper message here. Comfort should support well-being, not work against it. The things we associate with relaxation and care should not quietly undermine the effort we put into staying clean and confident. A freshly washed bathrobe is more than a luxury. It's part of a healthy routine. It reinforces the feeling of being truly clean from start to finish. Sometimes restoring freshness doesn't require adding anything new. It simply requires caring for what we already use, just a little more intentionally. Skipping post-shave cleansing. Why underarm odor gets worse instead of better. For many women, shaving under the arms feels like a simple, effective way to stay clean and fresh. Removing hair reduces sweat buildup, improves the effectiveness of deodorant, and creates a smoother feeling. It seems logical to assume that shaving alone is enough. But this assumption often leads to a surprising problem: underarm odor that becomes stronger instead of weaker. The reason lies in what shaving actually does to the skin. When you shave your underarms, the razor doesn't just remove hair. It also scrapes away dead skin cells, residual deodorant, sweat, and bacteria from the surface of the skin. In that moment, the underarm area becomes one of the most exposed and vulnerable parts of the body. What many women don't realize is that all of this loosened debris does not disappear on its own. Without proper cleansing, dead skin cells, disturbed bacteria, and product residue remain on the skin, especially in the folds of the underarm. The underarm area is naturally warm and moist. It contains a high concentration of sweat glands, making it one of the most bacteria-friendly environments on the body. When shaving is followed by skipping a gentle rinse, that environment becomes even more inviting to odor-causing bacteria. Instead of reducing odor, shaving without cleaning actually gives bacteria a fresh surface to grow on. As we age, this issue becomes more noticeable. Aging skin is thinner, slower to repair, and more sensitive. Microirritations caused by shaving heal more slowly, allowing bacteria to linger longer. Hormonal changes can also alter sweat composition, making odor stronger and more persistent. Another common mistake is applying deodorant immediately after shaving without cleaning the area first. This traps bacteria and residue under a layer of product, sealing in odor rather than preventing it. Freshly shaved skin needs time, not pressure. The solution is simple, gentle, and highly effective. After shaving, rinse the underarm area with warm water. This washes away loosened debris and reduces bacterial load. Follow with a soft, clean washcloth to lightly cleanse the skin. No scrubbing, no harsh pressure. Freshly shaved skin is sensitive and should be treated with care. Once clean, gently pat the area dry with a clean towel. Do not rub. Then allow the skin a few minutes to breathe before applying deodorant or antiperspirant. This brief pause helps reduce irritation and gives the skin time to stabilize. Many women are surprised by how much of a difference this small step makes. Odor decreases, freshness lasts longer. The underarms feel cleaner throughout the day instead of needing frequent reapplication of deodorant. It's important to remember that underarm odor is not a failure of hygiene. It's a result of bacteria interacting with moisture and skin. Addressing the environment, rather than covering it with fragrance, is what creates lasting results. Shaving is not the final step. Cleansing is. When post-shave care is done correctly, the underarms stay fresher, calmer, and more comfortable, and confidence returns quietly, without extra products, harsh chemicals, or embarrassment. Sometimes the most effective hygiene habits aren't about doing more, but about finishing what we've already started, gently and thoughtfully. The truth about body odor: it's not about being dirty. For many older women, body odor can feel like a quiet fear, one that's rarely spoken about, but deeply felt. It brings embarrassment, self-doubt, and sometimes even shame. And the most painful part is this: many women believe it means they are not clean enough. But the truth is far more compassionate and far more empowering. Body odor is rarely caused by poor hygiene. More often, it's caused by cleaning the wrong way. As women age, the body changes. Skin becomes thinner. Hormones shift. Natural bacteria balance adjusts. What worked perfectly at 30 may quietly stop working at 60 or 70. Yet many women respond by scrubbing harder, using stronger soaps, more fragrance, and more products, thinking cleanliness is the solution. In reality, this often makes things worse. Overwashing strips away protective bacteria. Trapped moisture feeds odor-causing microbes. Aggressive routines disrupt the body's natural balance. And without realizing it, women end up fighting their own biology instead of working with it. The good news is this: small changes make a big difference. Washing more gently, letting skin breathe, drying properly, using fewer, kinder products, changing a towel sooner, closing the toilet lid, allowing airflow at night. These are not dramatic lifestyle changes. They are quiet, respectful adjustments that restore balance. And when balance returns, freshness follows naturally. This isn't about perfection. It's about understanding. Older women are not invisible. They are not past their prime. And they are certainly not powerless over their own bodies. With awareness and a few thoughtful daily habits, women can feel fresh again, not masked by fragrance, but genuinely comfortable in their own skin. Confidence doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from knowing better. Aging does not mean giving up dignity. It means learning a new way to care. And that knowledge is powerful. If this message resonated with you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future episodes. Share this with another woman who deserves to feel confident, comfortable, and respected at every age. Because growing older should never mean shrinking your life.